So hello and welcome to Wheel Life, the video diary that helps you to understand what life is like living with an electric unicycle. And in this episode, I'm going to be giving some advice on how to take up arms. Don't panic, I'm not talking about carrying guns, no. Instead, I'm going to look at the different riding styles that people have, and in particular, what you should be doing with your arms, because that can have a huge impact on what happens when you're riding. So let's look at all the different styles and find out which one is best. Let's get cracking.
Arms are great. Let's be honest, we all appreciate our arms.
I've never heard anyone saying, my arms are a bit annoying.
That is until you get into bed and then for some reason your arms get in the way. Or when you're spooning your other half and within 2 minutes you're wondering if it's possible to die from pins and needles.
Arms can seem to be a bit of a nuisance when you're riding too, but honestly what you do with your arms can have an influence on how you ride, what happens when you fall, and how your wheel behaves. So let's take a look at the different styles of riding and see which one sums you up. So this is where we all began. Arse out and arms flapping about, and there's no shame in that because even tightrope walkers will attest to the fact that the smallest of movements of extended arms will affect your balance quite a lot, and that's why you see people flapping around like they're trying to take flight. But it's not an efficient use of energy and you do look like a bit of a tit. Fortunately though, you do progress quite quickly and start to look an awful lot cooler quite quickly. So here we see the next stage of rider's evolution. The arse is still out and the arms are in front of you like a human bumper bar. Riders seem to have the psychic premonition of impending disaster and so adopt the brace, brace, brace position you normally only read about on airplane literature that's laminated and situated in the pocket of the seat in front of you. And so now you've conquered the skills of the wheel and you're off with confidence, but you don't know what to do with your arms, so they just hang there limply by your sides as if you're an extra that's just arrived on the set of The Walking Dead, with your limbs just hanging there like cuts of meat hanging in a butcher's window. If you really want to go for it, you can always raise your hands out in front of you in a combination of styles 2 and 3, so you look like a zombie expecting a faceplant. So this is the style where riders go along with their hands firmly wedged into their pockets, giving the message that in the event of an off, they're more than happy to let their face cushion their fall. And let's be honest, who needs a full set of front teeth anyway? And also, when has a straight, boring nose ever allowed you to become the centre of conversation at a dinner party? If you want to have a face like a Picasso portrait, then this is the riding style for you. Now I see this one quite a bit, and there is an element of coolness to watch somebody doing 80s dance moves or riding along as if they're swatting away unwanted flies. I just want to give a word of warning, however, because if you're moving like this, then you're asking the wheel to work a bit harder to do what it needs to do. And that's going to drain the batteries fractionally more. And that's not a problem in itself, but low batteries and unnecessary spikes of power use are a dodgy combination. So think twice about riding in this style if you are on low batteries or if you're riding at full speed. Now you don't see this one a lot because it's not often that you feel grumpy when you're riding, so I can only assume that people have tried all the other styles and not found one that they're happy with. This is the grumpy old folded my arms, looking like you've been scolded by the missus in front of the kids, so you've gone off for some quality time by yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you just look like a bit of a dick. Any EUC rider with delusions that they're cool will try this style of chewing up the tarmac, because once you've heard a hooded youth or a teenager tell you that you are sick, the thought never leaves your mind, and you're transported back to time 30 years ago when you thought that doing skids on your push bike would make the girls fancy you more. In your head you're like a cool snowboarder carving from side to side, and if I'm honest, it does actually feel quite good. Now, since Fortnite became a thing, it seems the whole planet has tried to floss. We've all been at parties and family gatherings where some pre-teen who smacked off his tits on Haribo and starved of natural sunlight has been forced away from his Xbox or PlayStation and has demonstrated the floss at some frantic speed like he's just been plugged directly into the mains. And there's nothing more tragic than watching middle-aged men giving it a go as well. Well, we think it's quite easy until we give it a go, and then we suddenly realise that that snotty-nosed kid whose career prospects are limited to Twitch streaming or serving McDonald's is actually quite brilliant at something that you'll never be able to achieve. So why people try and do it while they're riding is beyond me, but at least that's what it looks like they're trying to do. So this is the style that I have adopted myself, and I picked this up on the 1,000-mile adventure I did with Mr. Ian Sampson, because when I was riding I had navigation, a map and a phone around my neck on a lanyard, and to stop them flapping around I would ride kind of holding in place with my arms tucked in like this. Now I believe this contributed to me getting a better range out of my wheel than Ian did. Now admittedly Ian's a bit taller than me, but we're both about the same kind of weight, and we were carrying roughly the same weight in our backpacks as well. Ian tended to ride much more in style 3, but like a zombie, whereas I was more tucked in and a bit more streamlined, reducing the drag. And I know this isn't very scientific, but Formula One teams spend a huge amount of time and money trying to improve aerodynamics and reduce drag. So the slightest tucking in is going to help, and if you're out for the long haul and want to improve the efficiency of your wheel and get the maximum out of your batteries, then you need to tuck in everything that's flapping around, and that includes your arms. Well, that is it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Please add in your comments below and tell me which style you go for, or if I've missed one and overlooked something obvious. Please do hit the like button, because that does something exotic to the YouTube gods and apparently helps my channel. And please don't miss out on watching the new EUC show, brand new series on this channel. But whatever you do, stay safe, and I'll see you again next time on Wheel Life.